Welcome to Inspirito AI, your go-to place for fun science stories. Today, we're diving into the world of friction. Friction is the force that resists sliding or rolling surfaces. It's what keeps your feet steady and allows cars to stop. Join us as we explore friction with Freddy the Friction Fighter and see how this invisible force shapes our lives. Enjoy learning. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more science adventures. Let's get started.
Once upon a time, in the bustling town of Mechanica, there lived a curious young boy named Freddy. Loved exploring how things worked, and one day he discovered the mysterious force called friction. He could walk on roads, but he often slipped when the road was wet. He wondered why this happened.
When the road is wet, what makes it different from walking on a dry road?
To ask his wise friend, Professor
Gearhead, why do I slip on wet roads?
Is what helps you walk safely. It's the force that resists the motion of objects sliding against each other. On a dry road, there's enough friction between your feet and the ground to keep you steady. But on a wet surface, the friction is less, so it's easier to slip.
Freddy learned that friction arises when two surfaces rub against each other.
Always opposes motion. It acts in the opposite direction to any moving object. The rougher the surfaces, the more friction they produce.
Effects of friction.
Friction can produce three key effects. Friction opposes motion. It causes wear and tear on surfaces. It produces
Freddy
heat.
understand better, Professor Gearhead introduced him to the two types of friction, static and
Friction
kinetic.
is the force that keeps objects at rest. For example, the friction that keeps your book on the table without sliding off. Kinetic friction is the force that acts on moving objects. It can be further divided into sliding and rolling friction. Sliding friction happens when an object slides over another, like when you drag a box across the floor. Rolling friction occurs when an object rolls over another, like the wheels of a bicycle on the road.
That rolling friction is less than sliding friction, which is why wheels are used in vehicles, trolleys, and suitcases to make them easier to move.
Affect friction. Nature of the surface. Rough surfaces create more friction, making it harder to move objects on them, while smooth surfaces create less friction. Weight of the body. Heavier objects create more friction. That's why pedaling a loaded bicycle is harder than an empty one. Area of contact. More contact area means more friction. For instance, a road roller with a broad base has more friction than a bicycle
Realize
tire.
that friction, despite its downsides, is essential for everyday life. The professor highlighted its advantages.
Allows us to hold objects in our hands. It helps us walk without slipping. It makes writing on paper possible. It ensures the safe movement of vehicles. It enables us to apply brakes and stop cars. It helps in lighting matchsticks, sewing clothes, tying knots, and fixing nails.
Professor Gearhead also pointed out the disadvantages of
Without
friction.
surfaces, like screws and gears in machines or shoe soles. It requires extra effort to overcome, leading to energy waste. It produces heat, which can damage machines.
Control friction.
Increase friction by increasing the contact area. For example, adjusting bicycle brake shoes close to the wheel rim. Decrease friction by using lubricants like grease or oil, which fill gaps in surfaces, creating a smooth layer. Use ball bearings. Since rolling friction is less than sliding friction, replacing sliding with rolling can reduce friction.
Freddy felt like a true friction fighter, ready to understand and harness the power of friction in his adventures. And so, Freddy continued exploring, always remembering the vital role that friction plays in the world around him.
Professor Gearhead, now I know how important friction is and how to manage it. I'll keep this knowledge with me always.
Freddy's journey of discovery continued, making the world of Mechanica a fascinating place to
For our
explore.
adventure with Freddy the Friction Fighter, we learned how friction helps us walk, drive, and hold objects, but it can also cause wear and tear. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to Inspirito AI for more fun science stories. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for updates. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.